All right, today we are going to talk about run-on sentences. And it's my first video lesson, so if I make mistakes, forgive me. All right, the first thing that you need to know is what a run-on sentence is. And what a run-on is two sentences jammed together. So, to give you an example, a run-on sentence doesn't have to be very long. It can be something short like, the cat ran, the dog barked. Well, this is a run-on sentence because we have a subject and a verb, and we have a subject and a verb. And both halves here could stand by themselves. Like if you say the cat ran, period, that's a complete sentence. If you say the dog barked, period, that's also a complete sentence. So you can see here that a run-on sentence is two complete sentences that are jammed together without appropriate punctuation. So there are three ways to fix run-on sentences. You can either use a period and a capital letter, you can use a semicolon, or you can use a comma and a conjunction. Now, the conjunctions that you should use for this, there's a really easy way to remember them. They can be called the fanboys. And that stands for and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. So to correct that first sentence that we had, the cat ran, comma, and the dog barked. See, now we have a comma and a conjunction, so it's not a run-on sentence anymore. Now there's one other way that you can fix a run-on sentence, and that's by adding a subordinating conjunction. And those are some words like while, although, or since, or because. So if we try to fix that first sentence with a subordinating conjunction, you could have since the dog barked, the cat ran. Now we know that the reason why the cat ran is because the dog barked. But this part of the sentence could no longer stand by itself. Since the dog barked, what? That can't be by itself. It's not a complete sentence. We don't know what happened when the dog barked. So that's why adding a subordinating conjunction can fix a run-on sentence also. Okay, so just to review before we start with the worksheet, three ways. The main ways are a period and a capital letter, a comma and a conjunction, and a semicolon. And remember that when you're using these conjunctions, you should think fanboys. All right, so now we're going to try to do some of these together. So your worksheet here is the one that says identifying and revising run-on sentences, revising. So here are the directions. If the sentence is correct, write C, and if it's a run-on, write R, and then revise each run-on by either making it two separate sentences, so that would be with a period and a capital letter, or using a comma and a coordinating conjunction, and remember that the coordinating conjunctions are those fanboys. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. All right, so the first one here, we have school in Munich was too rigid and boring for young Einstein. He did not do well. So the first thing to figure out if it's a run-on sentence, you should figure out where the subject and verbs are. So we have school was, and then he did do kind of go together as the verb phrase. Oh, that looks like a smiley face. Okay, so here we have the two sentences. School in Munich was too rigid and boring for young Einstein. Is that a complete sentence? Yes, it is. He did not do well. Is that a complete sentence? Yes, it is. So I think the best way here to fix this sentence... Whoa! What happened to my picture? Okay, sorry. Back to the actual task at hand. So we decided that this first one was a run-on sentence, and we needed to fix this problem here. So the best way to fix this one, in my opinion, is to add a comma and a coordinating conjunction, because we need to show the relationship for why Einstein did not do well, and that was because school was too rigid and boring. So we could say, school in Munich was too rigid and boring for young Einstein, so he did not do well. And that solves our run-on sentence problem. Okay, let's look at number 2 together also. However, young Einstein showed a talent for mathematics at the age of 12. He taught himself Euclidean geometry, a word I don't know. All right, so again, we have the subject here and the verb here. And then we have subject here and a verb here. So let's divide that sentence in half. However, young Einstein showed a talent for mathematics at the age of 12. Do we have a complete sentence there? I think we do, even though that word however is there, which could sometimes turn something into a fragment. This time it's okay. So we have, however, young Einstein showed a talent for mathematics at the age of 12. I think that what I would probably do here is add a comma and right there, and then that fixes our run-on sentence. Okay, number 3. After finishing secondary school, he entered the Federal Polytechnic Academy in Switzerland. He did not like the teaching methods there. Okay, once again, this time we have 3 clauses, really, because we have a subordinating conjunction here, then we have our subject, our verb, and then another subject and verb. And this part could definitely be a sentence on its own, and so could this. After finishing secondary school, he entered the Federal Polytechnic Academy in Switzerland. He did not like the teaching methods there. So this one, what I would do is add a comma and then but. Okay, why don't you guys try to do the next 2 on your own, then come back and I will review them with you, and then you can do 6 through 10 by yourselves. Okay, so here's the way that I fixed these 2 sentences. In this one, number 4, I decided it was a run-on sentence because we do have the academy frustrated him. And then we have he could learn in a way that interested him. We don't have the relationship between those 2 ideas, and they're not punctuated correctly. So I added a but, because you could say that even though the academy frustrated him, he would be able to learn in a way that interested him. Now for number 5, I thought that this time the best way to fix it would be to add a period and a capital letter, because these seem like 2 separate ideas. He chose to educate himself, period. He missed class often and spent time studying physics on his own. That way, they kind of go together, but they're still separate and just next to each other. You could choose to use a conjunction there too, but I just thought this was a good one to show you that other way. All right, so now you guys should do 6 through 10 on your own and try your best to get these run-on sentences corrected. Remember, you can go back and rewatch the video if you have any trouble.